All right, so what if an AI could learn to play any video game? Not by, hacking into the code, but just by watching the screen, pretty much exactly like you do. Well, that's the big promise behind SIMA, this incredible new universal AI gamer from Google DeepMind. And today, we're going to break down exactly what this means for the future of gaming.
No, really, just think about that for a second. We're talking about an AI that doesn't need some special invitation or, back-end access to the game's engine. It can just look at the screen, understand simple instructions, and play. This isn't some far-off sci-fi concept anymore. This is the real deal. It's the core idea behind SIMA.
So let's meet this new player, shall we? And just to be super clear, this isn't just about making a smarter enemy in your favorite shooter. No. We are talking about a completely new kind of gamer entering the scene. Its name? SIMA.
Okay, so SIMA, it stands for Scalable, Instructable, Multi-World Agent. It's a bit of a mouthful, I know. But what it means is that it's a single AI that's built to understand plain, simple English and then go and operate across thousands of different virtual worlds. Yep, video games, all without needing any of that special behind-the-scenes access to the code.
And this right here is the real game changer. You see, older AIs, the ones that mastered games like Go or StarCraft, they were basically plugged right into the game's code. They could, see the matrix. SIMA is totally different. It sees the world through raw pixels, just like our eyes do. And it follows simple commands like, hey, climb that ladder, or go find some water.
So, the big question is, how on earth does an AI learn to play like a person? Well, it's not magic, even though it kind of feels like it. It's actually a combination of some really sophisticated learning techniques. So, let's pop the hood and see what makes this AI gamer tick.
Okay, first up is something called hierarchical reinforcement learning. And yeah, I know it sounds super technical, but the idea is actually pretty simple. If you give the AI a big, complex goal, like find water, it doesn't just panic. Instead, it intelligently breaks that down into a bunch of smaller, manageable steps. Okay, first turn left, now walk forward, scan the horizon, that sort of thing. It builds these really complex behaviors out of super simple actions.
And then there's self-supervised learning. This is how SIMA basically teaches itself to get better. It just plays, it tries stuff, observes what happens, and learns from the results. You walk off a cliff? Ouch, that's a bad outcome. You open a chest and find some awesome loot? That's a good one. It's constantly creating its own little lessons, getting smarter and smarter over time, all without a human having to micromanage every single move.
So all of this comes together in SIMA's really unique training regimen. It uses what's called a meta-learning approach, which basically means it learns how to learn. By training on this huge, wild variety of games, everything from the intense survival of Valheim to the absolute chaos of Goat Simulator 3, it starts to build this general internal model of how virtual worlds just work. And that leads to this amazing thing called zero-shot generalization, which means it can jump into a brand new game it's never seen before and already have a pretty good idea of what to do.
Okay, look, being good at video games is obviously really impressive. But the ambition here, it goes way beyond just getting a high score. This technology is really the foundation for something much, much bigger. We're talking about potential that reaches far, far outside the world of gaming.
So what does all this training actually add up to? What's the scale of what it can do? Well, get this. After its initial training, SIMA has mastered over 600 basic skills. And that's not just about winning or losing. It's about having this deep, flexible understanding of how to just operate inside these virtual environments.
And what kind of skills are we even talking about here? Well, it's the whole shebang. Everything from just basic navigation to using complex menus, interacting with objects, and even playing cooperatively with other human players. But here's the really crucial part. It can take a skill it learned in one game, say crafting, and apply that general idea to a totally different game's crafting system. That is a massive leap forward.
And this is why this all matters so much, even if you're not a gamer. Just imagine this tech being used for, say, virtual training for surgeons, letting them practice incredibly complex procedures in a simulation that feels real and adaptive, or training pilots, or even helping us design better websites and apps by seeing how a generalist AI tries to navigate them. The potential is just enormous.
But, of course, like any powerful new technology, this brings us to a pretty serious crossroads. Because the very same capabilities that make SIMA so exciting, well, they also raise some really tough questions that the entire industry is starting to grapple with right now. So, let's break down some of the key concerns. First, there's transparency.
These AIs can be black boxes, right? It's really hard to know why they make the decisions they do. Then there's privacy, because to train these things, you need massive amounts of data from real players. And what about bias? If an AI learns from some of the toxic behavior you see online, it could just learn to replicate it. And then, of course, the big one, jobs. The fear of job displacement for designers, artists, and QA testers.
And listen, this isn't just some theoretical what-if fear. This quote really captures a very real anxiety that's spreading through the game development community. We're talking about people whose entire careers are built on creativity, and they're looking at these incredibly powerful tools and asking, okay, where do I fit into the future of my own industry?
It really boils down to this central conflict, this promise versus peril. On one side, you've got the incredible promise, AI that could boost human creativity, make development faster, and create these amazing personalized experiences. But on the other side, you've got the peril, a technology that might undermine originality, displace human workers, and create these giant immersive worlds that just feel empty, lacking that human touch.
And that really brings us to the core question of this whole new era. The future isn't written in stone here. The path we end up taking is going to depend on the choices the industry and all of us make right now, as this technology is really starting to come online.
At the end of the day, SIMA really represents this core tension we see across all of technology. It is an absolutely incredible achievement, and all the excitement around it is totally justified. But that excitement exists side by side with a very real, very genuine anxiety about what this kind of automation actually means for human creators.
And so that leaves us all with a pretty critical question to think about. As AI gets better and better, not just at playing our games, but at helping to create them, what does it even mean to be a human creator anymore? That's the conversation that SIMA has kicked off, and it's a conversation we're all going to be a part of.